The Wife's Lament has been read as a riddle, an allegory of the Church's longing for Christ, a retainer's lament for his lost Lord, a speaking sword, and even the cry of a lost soul speaking out from beyond the grave. Scholars today mostly agree that it is a poem of love and lament, spoken by a woman who has lost her husband, who is also her Lord. Like other Old English elegies, this poem begins as a heartfelt cry, moves through a struggle for consolation, and ends as a generalized piece of gnomic wisdom. The speaker recalls that her husband has left her for unknown reasons. Some plotting involving kinsmen has taken place, and he has fled. She has discovered that he was feuding with unknown people or possibly against her and plotting murder. She desperately remembers their love, but this memory increases her sense of loss and pain. In the end she tries to generalize her suffering to include all people, especially her husband. She assumes or she hopes that he is suffering lost love, loneliness, and torment, just as she is. He should have his share of suffering if indeed his leaving was the result of some family or tribal feud, and if he still loves her. The speaker, however, doesn't know why her husband has left, why he began to hide his thoughts from her, why he was plotting murder, or even whom he planned to kill. Because of this uncertainty, she doesn't know whether to pity him or to curse him. The generalizations at the end of the poem allow her to do both. If he is faultless and suffering, he joins her in grief and deserves pity and consolation. If he has been plotting against her or has simply left her out of lack of love, he deserves the curse she is uttering under her breath. Finally, of course, the wife cannot know why the husband has left her in such dire straits. Her only recourse is the consolation of language itself as she turns an insufferable longing into the sharp consolation of her own lament. There's no surety here in knowing the other, the husband, whose intentions and actions are hidden from her. The only surety she has is in her song. Tormented by a twisted fate, dark memories, and a grim landscape, she expresses her pain and suffering through the song she sings. In so doing, she transforms the elegiac mode into something deeper and darker, where longing and anger are inexorably mixed. The Wife's Lament. I tell this story from my grasp of sorrow. I tear this song from a clutch of grief. My stretch of misery from birth to bedrest has been unending, no more than now. My mind wanders, my heart hurts. My husband, my lord, left hearth and home, crossing the sea road, the clash of waves. My heart heaved each dawn, not knowing where in the world my lord had gone. I followed, wandering a wretched road, seeking some service, knowing my need for a sheltering home. I fled from woe. His cruel kinsmen began to plot, scheming in secret to split us apart. They forced us to live like exiles, wretched, distant lives. Now I lie with longing. My Lord commanded me to live here where I have few friends, little love, and no sense of home. Now my heart mourns. I had found the best man for me, my husband and companion, hiding his mind, closing his heart, bound in torment, brooding on murder beneath a gentle bearing. How often we promised each other at night that nothing would part us except death. But fate is twisted, everything's turned. Our love is undone, our closeness uncoupled. The web of our wedding is unwoven. Something now seems as if it never was. Our friendship together. Far and near, I must suffer the feud of my dear Lord's brooding. I was forced to live in a cold earth cave, under an oak tree in an unhappy wood. My earth house is old. I lie with longing. Here are steep hills and gloomy valleys, dark hideouts under twisted briars. Bitter homes without joy. My Lord's leaving seizes my mind, harrows my heart. Somewhere friends share a lover's bed. Couples clinging to their closeness at dawn, while I sing each morning's sorrow. Outside my earth cave, under my oak tree, where I spend the summer-long day, mourning my exile, the cares of my heart, the wandering of my tormented mind. My spirit cannot rest, my heart be healed. My mind be free from this life's longing. A young man must surely wake at dawn. with hard-edged sadness in his lonely heart. He must brook misery beneath a gentle bearing while he suffers his own stretch of sorrow. Endless and undoing. May he look for joy. In an empty bed, exiled also in an alien land, so that my friend sits under stone cliffs. Pelted by storms, stranded by waves, chilled to the bone in his cruel hall. In the comfort of cold, the embrace of anguish, he may remember a kinder hearth and home. Woe waits for the lover who lies longing.